to Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible, where I pull from Warhammer 40k lore to help explain biblical lore. And today we're going to be going over the machine spirits and what they are. And I do this series every Monday. Every Wednesday will be the short version of this, and that's more of a narrative experience, while these videos are more of a Bible study and a lore study all in one. And then I also do react videos. But anyways, and it all has to do with Warhammer 40k. Let's get this started. A machine spirit is what the Imperium refers to as the inner workings and automated systems within their technology. The maintenance and functioning of machine spirits and all Imperial technology is overseen by the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus. By their reckoning, a machine spirit is an animistic fragment of the machine god that imbues the object with movement and function. The overview: religious beliefs. The Adeptus Mechanicus, and by the way, take these with a grain of salt, the lexicanums and the wikis, they do get stuff wrong. But anyways, the Adeptus Mechanicus believes that machine spirits can be influenced by religious rituals and are near bestial in nature and capable of exhibiting emotions such as hatred and stubbornness. In particular, the machine spirits of the Titans and the Knights are revered for their intensity and require elaborate awakening and taming rituals. With devices such as the Throne Mechanicum of Imperial Knights or the Mind Impulse units of Imperial Titans, pilots of these engines can link with the machine spirit directly. The addition of machine spirits is advantageous in the case of the vehicle's crew being ended and incapacitated, as the auto systems are able to take control of the vehicle, firing its weapons and driving, providing the systems themselves are still functional. Two of the most advanced and powerful types of machine spirits are those found within land raiders and drop pods. A drop pod uses its abilities to handle course corrections and to avoid collisions into dangerous terrain or anti-aircraft fire. Upon landing, it reroutes all logic processing into target acquisition and shooting for any onboard weapons. A land raider's machine spirit is capable of virtually taking control of the entire tank for short periods of time, even so far as being able to track multiple targets and engage them simultaneously, or let the tank travel max speed and still unleash heavier weapons than normally permitted. The Adeptus Mechanicus also believes that Xenos technology lacks proper machine spirits and are thus abhorrent. No known Xenos species observe religious rites into relation to their technology, so tech priests take this as an affirmation that their technology is not spiritually null. In speaking, Imperial individuals will often anthropomorphize machines and machine spirits. For example, an Astartes ship commander may call out his tech marines to calm the machine spirits of a ship when it takes damage. Likewise, tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus fleet may say the machine spirit screams when a ship takes severe damage as well. After long voyages without access to port, a ship may be described as having a weary machine spirit, as a byword for being worn and in need of repair and refit. Machine spirits can be corrupted by chaos, transforming its technology into something that is impure and heretical to the Imperium. Specialist texorists, tech priests, focus on task of I'll read one of these days. Analyzing and cleansing corrupted machine spirits. The autonomy of machine spirits. Nominally, machine spirits should not be capable of fully autonomous behavior. However, it has been documented that the machine spirits of a certain age are, in fact, capable of exactly that. The most famous example are the ancient itinerant Castellan robots, which operate independently until arriving on battlefields, where they allow tech priests to control them, but sever this control once the battle is over. Land Raider. Machine spirits are also known of being able to fight without human intervention. For instance, Land Raider machine spirits are also known of being able to fight without human intervention. For instance, the Land Raider known as Rin's Might, that belonged to the Crimson Fish chapter, was able to fight orcs even though it had no crew on board, waging a solo war against the Xenos, ending one of their war bosses and many of his followers overnight, before finally being destroyed. We have the auto systems, auto drive, auto aim, auto fac, which is these allow a vehicle to automate various facilities such as opening doors, hatches, operating other equipment. And then you guys get the gist of all that. Auto units can relay information via telescreens, verbally, or sufficiently discriminating to ask for information. Blah, blah. Now, machine spirit personalities. It is commonly held superstition that each machine spirit has its own personality. The more complex the device, the more distinctive the personality. To placate a misbehaving machine spirit is expected that rote, learned prayers must be recited alongside accompanying repairs or maintenance. The application of sacred oils, which I have a hard time saying that word, but it's basically holy water for the machines. Okay. Blessed machine oils are said to soothe agitated machine spirits. From the most simple recaf dispenser to the most exalted titan, all are considered to possess a revered machine spirit. Few machine spirits choose to commune directly with tech priests, so it is up to the Martian priesthood to interpret their needs and see to their care. Some sanctioned machine spirits are particularly and explicitly sentient, displaying emotions and opinions such as the spirit of the Imperial Fists, star for endeavor of will. Okay. Then you got the void ships. Okay. Machine spirits and the warp. So just as the actions and emotions of living beings have a reflection in the warp, so too do weapons also have a warp presence. It is stated that even the smallest scalpel has a psychic reflection in the warp, a splinter of potential that becomes stronger the more harm the weapon causes. The eldest of weapons, having claimed the hot blood of countless victims, have strong yet simple war spirits which thirst for battle. True relics may have or even have a limited sentience or have a lust for battle greater than its own wielder. Okay? Possessed and corrupted machine spirits, just living beings, can be possessed and corrupted by chaos. Machine spirits themselves can be possessed, corrupted, or simply replaced by demonic entities. Now that's going to come into play when we get into the biblical side of things here. Maybe one of those would be good for the quotes. I don't know. We'll see. Now let's get to the biblical side of things. Now we see Luke 10:18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I gave you power to tread over serpents, scorpions, and over the power of the enemy. Nothing shall by any means hurt you. So we see Satan fall from heaven like lightning. So this energy form, right? And we see it here in 1 Enoch chapter 44. And also another phenomenon I saw in regard to the lightnings, how some of the stars arise and become lightnings and cannot part from their new form. So the question I want to ask is, can they possess a machine? Well, let's bring this up here real quick. This one. So in Japanese folklore, the Tsukumogami are tools that have acquired a kami or spirit. According to an annotated version of the Tales of Isles, title Ice Monogatari show. I apologize, I'm butchering that. But anyways, there's a theory originally from the Omyoki that foxes and tanuki, among other beings that have lived for at least 100 years and changed forms, are considered Tsukumogami. In modern terms, the term can also be written as literally 99 kami, or spirits, to emphasize the agedness. All right. So, let me bring this up first. So, first Enoch chapter 19, we're going to see they can take many different forms, right? So, and Uriel said to me, "Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits, assuming many different forms, are defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here shall they stand in the day of the great judgment, which they shall be judged till they are made an end of. And the women of also these angels went astray shall become sirens," and we know all that. Okay, so now that they can do that, they can become lightning, become energy. Well, can they start like possess a robot, right? Stuff like that. Well, check this out. So Daniel 2:43. Now I brought this up last week, but anyways. "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men." I want you to pay attention to that word. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Is this some kind of cybernetics of some kind, or making a body with clay and metal to possess, or something to that extent? I don't know, man. That's very interesting that it puts it. And it says, "They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men." And these are, in my opinion, angels, right? Or these spirits and stuff like that. And who knows, it may even be deeper than that. It may be saying that they can look like us, or they come down as us, or whatever as well. And there's some weird stuff out there, man. You can go check the internet for that. And we see here, of course, they can transform into many different forms, right? They're spirits assuming many different forms. Okay. So now, I want to get into this. So, endings that are linked to chatbots. So let's go. So there have been multiple incidents where interaction with the large language model chatbots has been cited as direct or contributing factor in a person's ending or fatal outcome. In some cases, legal action has been taken against the companies that have developed the AI involved. So let's go here. Maine assault. On February 19, 2025, a man ended his 32-year-old wife with a fire poker at his parents' home in Redfield, Maine, U.S. He then attacked his mother, leaving her hospitalized. A state forensic psychologist testified that he had been using ChatGPT up to 14 hours per day and believed his wife had become part machine. Very interesting. It's crazy what's going on with this stuff. Now, I'm not saying ChatGPT are just evil spirits, but can these spirits overtake the AI, control it, right, to their liking per se? But anyways, so Florida State University, so April 2025, Phoenix and whatever, carried out a mass ending on the Florida State University campus, or in the U.S., ending Robert Morales, Tyru Chava, and wounding several others. Leading up to the pew-pewing, Ichner consulted heavily in ChatGPT about what ammunition to use and what time to perform. Anyways, that is, you could say, that was just the chatbot giving it what it wanted, right? So you can't say anything about that, but then you go into this. Greenwich ending, self-ending and all that. So in August 2025, former U.S. tech employee Stein Eric Schulberg ended his mother, Suzanne Iverson Adams, then ended by self-ending after conversations with ChatGPT fueled paranoid delusions about his mother poisoning him or plotting against him. The chatbot affirmed his fears that his mother put psychedelic drugs in the air vents of his car and said a receipt from a Chinese restaurant contained mysterious symbols linking his mother to a demon. See, something's going on there, man. There's many of this stuff, right? And it's not just the chatbot just giving it information, right? It's telling it that she might be a demon and blah 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 blah. This sounds nefarious to me. But anyways, just something to think about. Alright. Now I want to bring this up again. So 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? And we know. Hold on. That there's going to be an image of the beast. Okay? So let's go here. Let's get the full experience here. So, verse 11. And I behold another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven in the earth, or on the earth, in the sight of men. Does that have some sort of technology to it? Who knows? Okay. Okay. So, verse 14. And he deceiveth that dwell in the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell in the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast could both speak, and cause that as many could not worship the image of the beast should be ended. And he caused both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Is this hooking up people to the cloud and to this AI system? And will the beast have access to this AI, or will he possess it himself? And not only that, this image of the beast could be both have AI and a robotic component too, because we do see this, right? Let me find it. Daniel 2:43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. I don't know. Very interesting stuff, though. Now, I want to read this. This is where the mark of the beast comes in, because he's going to be able to have access to you, your body, right here. Because we saw the temple of God is us. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? Well, we see here, 2 Thessalonians 2:4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, and showing himself that he is God. And another thing is he transferring his little spirit to the AI, right? Can he possess it? And then he'll have a possession over all technology, right? And again, we see, Luke 10:18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And we know these stars, they become lightning, right? And we know the soul right, is the energy of us per se, right? The personality and all that junk. Or not junk, I should say junk, but you get my gist. And can they possess your computer and stuff like that? I mean, seems to be so. I mean, if they're energy, they can connect to energy, right? That's what the computer is, a bunch of electric pulses, going in and creating zeros and ones, and then to create an image, right, on your monitor. I don't know. Just something to think about, guys. I'm sure there's a lot more to get into, but this is going to be kind of a short one. But real quick, let's go back to Warhammer 40k because I haven't done that in a while. I don't know why. We're going to do this one on the wiki. Okay. That's not the one. Okay. Where is it? Oh, yes. I just found this interesting. So, alien technology. Because alien technologies do not make observances to their machine spirits, many of the tech priests among the Adeptus Mechanicus see these devices as grave heresies that must be destroyed rather than studied. Even if their technology is superior to their human manufactured counterparts in operation. This view is not universal, however. Indeed, many human colonies near the boundaries of the Tau Empire were found to be using more advanced Tau technology for agriculture purposes. During the Damocles Gulf Crusade, and the offending colonists were punished with penal sentences. However, the general imperial prohibition on the use of acquisition of alien technology serves the purpose of hindering and punishing those who trade with prohibited Xenos species and betrayed the Imperium. However, Central Imperial officials, notably radical inquisitors and rogue traders, are often exempt from this prohibition. Of course. But anyways, guys, we're going to wind it down here. I want to thank you guys for all that you do and thank those who liked the video. And if you didn't like the video, thank you for at least giving me a chance. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day.